You lace up your shoes, you head out the door, and 10 minutes into your run, that aching pain on the front of your leg comes back again. And if you're like a lot of the other runners I've worked with in the past, you've already tried taking time off, maybe even a few times, only to have the pain come right back the second you go back to running. So why does this keep happening? And more importantly, what do you do to make sure that the pain actually stops for good this time? Well, today I'm breaking all of that down for you. By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly what shin splints are, why they keep coming back for you, and what to do about it so that you can get back to running, jumping, and all the activities you love without that nagging pain. Before we dive in today, I put together a list of my sports physical therapist top recommended exercises for shin splints. If you want to grab it, all you have to do is click the link in the description below or scan the QR code that I'll put somewhere here on the screen and I'll send it straight over to your inbox. So let's get into it. First, let's just talk about what shin splints are. Shin splints cause nagging or sharp pain down the front of your lower leg on a bone called the tibia. The medical term for shin splints is medial tibial stress syndrome. And really all this means is that big bone, the tibia, and the surrounding tissue structures are becoming overworked and angry, likely because they're being asked to do more than they're prepared to handle. Shin splints are also what we call an overuse injury, meaning that shin splints don't develop from one wrong step or one bad workout, but rather an accumulation of multiple different things over time. People I see most commonly dealing with shin splints are going to be new runners, runners who are currently training for a race and ramping up mileage every week, and runners who are coming back after taking some time off. Athletes and active adults can also get shin splints if they're participating in sports that require a lot of running and jumping. Bottom line is, shin splints is your body's way of telling you that something is off. Either you're going too fast too soon with your activity, or something else in the system isn't working as properly and your lower legs are taking more of the impact. And knowing exactly what that is the key to fixing shin splints for good. So how exactly do shin splints happen? There are really two main ways, and the first is doing too much too soon. This can happen after taking several months off running and trying to pick back up right where you left off. Or you've been running more casually and then you sign up for a race, so your weekly mileage quickly starts increasing. Your cardiovascular system may be handling these increases perfectly fine, but your connective tissue and your bones need a little bit more time to adjust. And when they can't keep up is when things start to feel like they're breaking down. The second cause is a little sneakier. Sometimes shin splints can also develop when something else in the chain isn't functioning as well, causing more load or stress to be placed on the lower legs. Weak hips, limited ankle mobility, tight calves, all of these things can start to shift extra load onto your lower legs, and over time, you can start to develop symptoms like shin splints. This is exactly why two people can be following the same exact training plan and one person can develop shin splints and the other person may not. It's rarely just about the miles that you're running every week. It's also about what your body is prepared to handle. Now let's talk about what shin splints actually feel like and when it may be time to take things a little bit more seriously. Typical shin splints are dull and achy and run along the inside of your lower leg bone. Shin splint pain can pop up at the very start of your run. Then as you're easing into your run, symptoms may die down a bit before they potentially ramp back up as mileage starts to really increase during the middle to late stages of your run. You may also notice that shin splint pain pops up once you're done your run as well. You may notice some symptoms of tenderness or soreness if you press along the area. You may also notice general tightness or mild swelling. One thing that's important to note is that shin splint pain typically covers a more broad area, usually a couple or several inches along the lower leg. And it's usually not specifically pinpointed to one specific spot. If your pain is consistently sharp and doesn't ease up at all as you start getting into your run, but rather consistently gets worse, or if it's concentrated in one pinpoint specific area, that's something to pay attention to. Those symptoms can be more specific to a stress fracture and may require a different approach. In that case, I recommend stopping activity altogether and reaching out to a rehab professional or doctor that you trust. Okay, so what do we actually do about shin splint pain? I'm going to walk you through 5 different things that, if consistent with, can help manage your shin splint pain long term. The first is to progress gradually. Whether you're a brand new runner, coming back for the first time after a few months off, training for a new race, or jumping into a new sport or hobby, your body needs time to adapt. A good general rule of thumb is to increase your mileage no more than 10% per week. And especially if you have a history of injuries, I recommend changing only one variable at a time. So your speed, your distance, your intensity, if you're doing interval runs, for example, or even the type of terrain that you're running in, make sure to change only one of these at a time so you're not manipulating too many variables and causing too much load or stress on the body at once. It may feel frustrating to move at a slower pace, but your bones, your connective tissue, your tendons, your ligaments, they will thank you for giving them time to adapt and build to be stronger so that they can better support you you during your runs and your activity. The second is to build strength in your foot and your ankle. Your foot is the first thing to hit the ground with every single step that you take. If the muscles in your foot and ankle are weak, the lower leg ends up absorbing force that it wasn't truly meant to handle. Strengthening the foot, the ankle, and the arch help your whole body distribute forces more evenly, which can take a ton of stress off of your shins. The third is to build strong hips. Your hips are the foundation for your entire lower body. And when they are weak, everything else in the lower chain starts to compensate, including your lower legs. Strong hip stabilizers means better mechanics from the ground up. This is one of the most overlooked pieces when navigating shin splints. Fourth is make sure you're regularly replacing your shoes. This one seems simple, but a lot of people actually overlook this. The general recommendation for replacing your shoes is about every 300 to 500 miles. And if you're not tracking your miles, take your shoe and turn it over. If the bottom of the sole looks worn or uneven, it's probably time to replace your shoes. Running in old or worn out shoes is one of the most overlooked contributing factors to lower leg, foot, and ankle pain in athletes and runners. And number 5 is don't forget the basics. I'm talking about things like sleep, nutrition, and hydration. I know, not glamorous, but these things matter more than people genuinely give them credit for. Recovery doesn't just happen when you're foam rolling, getting a massage, or using compression sleeves. True recovery happens from the inside out. Making sure that you are consistently getting enough sleep, consistently eating enough protein, staying hydrated, and managing your stress. Prioritizing recovery from the inside out can make a true difference in how you're able to show up and perform in your workouts. Here's the thing, you can know all of this information, but it's a whole other thing to be able to apply it to your lifestyle and your body. And if you notice you're in the cycle of jumping back into an activity, symptoms flaring up again, taking time off to rest, you feel better, only to jump right back into that activity and notice symptoms are flaring up again, that's usually a good sign that something else here is going on, that general recommendations and advice from online is not going to help with long term. And that's where working with a provider can be really helpful, because the goal isn't just to get out of pain. The goal is to get you back to your activity and keep you there long term without any flare-ups. And if you feel like you've been dealing with shin splint pain for a while now and nothing is helping, I put together a list of my sports physical therapist approved top recommended exercises for shin splint pain. You can click the link below or scan the QR code that I'll put somewhere here on the screen, and I'll send it right over to your inbox. And if this video was helpful for you, make sure you like and subscribe. I post regularly about running related injuries, performance, injury prevention, and how to stay active and healthy for the long run. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.